Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. I am still in my training all day today, but I will be back tomorrow. So just a quick reminder for this week, if you are interested in academic camp, it's from July 12th to the 29th for 3 weeks. Turn in the form, or if you need one, let me know so I can put one in your folder. It's from Monday through Thursdays, no school on Fridays from 8:30 to 12:30. Don't forget this morning to answer the polyprompt for today. It's for attendance. If you are on time or tardy, don't forget to do your spelling online, or if you have the paper packet, please make up your tests. Yesterday you guys had all afternoon to work on things when you weren't in library. Make up your online assignments. If you haven't finished them, make sure you push the turn in button. And then work on your daily oral language week 22 for Tuesday today. So you should have done yesterday, Monday, Tuesday today, and then tomorrow we'll do Wednesday. All right, so your reading agenda for this morning from 8 o'clock to 9:45 a.m. Answer the polyprompt, do your daily language review for Tuesday, week 22. Watch the video on your posted Teams assignment. Go to Teams assignment. It's going to be all together. Listen to the read-alouds and answer text questions of the read-alouds on a forms quiz. Then when you turn in everything, work on your paper assignment, Pen Pals for today. Make sure you highlight where you found your evidence by that color. And then work on your missing assignments test or read on Epic Books. Make sure you stop at 9:45, take a 15-minute break, and then jump back on at 10 o'clock for your math assignment to be posted today. All right, so first thing this morning, it says that you will get out your Storyworks magazine and you're going to listen to 2 read-alouds, or you can read this on your own. Remember, since this is a recording, you can pause, you can rewind, you can go back to where you lost focus, or if you didn't hear something, you can have it reread to you. You can read it, listen to it twice. And yes, you can read it on your own also. Or you can listen to me read while you read along with your magazine. Okay, so make sure you have your magazine in front of you. We still need this for tomorrow's assignment also. So today, I'm going to read you one topic, 2 stories. So 2 short articles, and the first one is called Monster Goldfish. It says How a Little Pet Can Become a Giant Problem by Todd Olson. So, since we're going to be reading 2 texts, 2 informational texts, you're going to probably have to compare and contrast. That means you're going to have to look for similarities and differences between these 2 articles. So let's read the first one. They've taken over a river in Australia. They've invaded a bay in Canada and a lake in Colorado. They grow to enormous sizes and eat everything in sight. It's the attack of the giant monster goldfish. It may sound like a scary movie, but it's not. Scientists say that giant goldfish are becoming a big problem in rivers and lakes around the world. And who caused the problem? We did, humans. I wonder why giant goldfish are a problem. Look at this heading, Major Damage. Sometimes pet owners get tired of their little Nemos and Dories. They carry their bowls to the nearest stream and splat! They send their fish into the wild. This has caused many kinds of fish to become invasive species. So where do you look to find out what does invasive species mean? Look at the bottom. It means plants or animals that move into an area and harm the plants and animals that already live there. Invasive species are animals or plants that move from one area into a new environment where they don't belong. They can do major damage. Take goldfish, for instance. You know, goldfish is like a pet fish, but some people just throw them into the rivers, the lakes. Freed from their small bowls and tanks, they can get more oxygen and food in the wild. They can grow and grow. So it sounds like they're meant to live in small bowls and not big places. They can eat up plants and fish eggs at the bottom of the river. They can force out fish that have called the river home for centuries. So if they take all those resources, then the other fish can't live because they're not from that area. The heading, Solving the Problem. Once goldfish move into a river or a lake, they are hard to get rid of. One group in California found a solution for unwanted goldfish. Can you imagine? That is pretty hard because they're in the water. The group built a special pond just for these abandoned fish. The goldfish can live in the clear, cool waters of the pond without harming native species. What is native species? Plants or animals that live or grow naturally in a certain place. Sometimes it's nature that cleans up the messes that humans create. In 2015, thousands of goldfish took over a lake in Colorado. But then a flock of hungry pelicans arrived. They ate up all the invaders in the lake. Still, the best way to protect native wildlife is to keep pet fish out of rivers, lakes, and streams in the first place. And here I see a photograph with a, what was this called? Describing the photograph? Starts with a C. Yep, caption. Swimming giants. This 4-pound giant was once a tiny goldfish. It was fished out of a river in Australia. So when you think of goldfish, I think of something small, smaller than the palm of my hand. So wow, this goldfish grew. So let's look at the next article. If you turn the page, and remember you have some questions on these, so use your magazine for your text evidence. So I'm going to read the next article. If you turn the page on page 12, it says pigs on the loose. Wild pigs in Texas and beyond are eating everything in sight. Can they be stopped? Ooh, I like this label here of the diagram. These are tusks, and the nose is called a snout. It says big pig. Wild boars have tusks that can be up to 18 inches long. Their snouts can be up to 14 inches long. All right. Does not say the author. Maybe it's the same author as the other article. More than 500 years ago, explorers from Europe sailed to the Americas. They brought along special passengers, 8 squealing, snorting pigs. The explorers hoped that the pigs would grow in number and become food for the settlers. The plan worked, sort of. Today, the descendants, what's a descendant? It means the future children passed on. So those pigs that they brought, now we see the descendants of those first 8 pigs are fat and happy. They're also causing big problems. Hey, the apostrophe. They are also causing big problems. 6 million wild pigs now run free in at least 35 states. They chew up soccer fields and golf courses. They gobble up baby birds and turtle eggs. They devour just about any crop a farmer can plant. Devour means to quickly eat all of something. And so far, no one has been able to stop them. This heading says gobbling monsters. Wild pigs are also known as boars. They are different from pigs found on farms. They grow thick, stiff hair to protect them from the cold. Fearsome tusks stick out from their lower jaws. Their snouts help them dig up everything from potatoes to peanuts. They can smell food up to 7 miles away and 25 feet underground. Wow, strong snout. Texas is home to half of the country's wild pig population. The state is trying to find new ways to stop the animals. The Texas government allows hunters to kill the gobbling monsters at any time of year, and the state's farmers use high-tech tools to catch the boars. Wow. Wild boars. What's our problem in Tahachi? Just wild dogs? Whoops. Second, this other heading, pigging out. Still, our wild pig problem has not been solved. Female pigs can have up to 16 piglets per year. Wow. And wild pigs have become nocturnal over the years. Now, what does nocturnal mean? It's mostly active at night. So, when humans are trying to find them during the day, the boars are sleeping in their dens. In Texas, the wild pig population grows by 20% each year. We haven't figured out a way to outsmart these animals yet. Until then, wild boars will keep pigging out on farms, gardens, and lawns. So, what I want you to think about, and you can listen to it again, is in what ways are goldfish and wild pigs similar? How are they different? And you're going to have some questions online about both of these articles. Okay? So I just wanted to remind you that you can also, this will be posted in the materials on this assignment, is you can go to the Storyworks webpage. So if you click on that, it'll take you to this website, and there's where you will type in my last name, your teacher's name, Carlston 3 for 3rd grade. So write this down if you haven't yet. Push sign in, and it'll take you to all of the other magazines that we've read so far. If you haven't done it yet, like yesterday, make sure you go From Fear to Hope. You can listen to that. You can also look back at these articles. And what's cool, I remember doing this one, if you go back to March and April, this is a really good story. It's a good video to watch. Night of the Grizzlies. So there's other articles that have good stories. Frozen Dreams, The Snowflake, The Rise of Roblox. Remember we read that one? There's other stories and other videos. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So go back, check it out. If you want to look at the article, you can go here. If you don't have your magazine yet, some of you weren't here yesterday, but you can look at the presentation view and you can read the articles yourself. This is an online article. Okay? And if you want to read the other story, The Stars Below Me, that's a good story. Okay? I just wanted to remind you about that. All right. So thank you for watching. Now work on your assignments, answer the questions, work on pen pals. Please, please use this time to make up anything that you're missing, and then you may read on Epic Books. All right. The math assignment will be posted at 10 o'clock. Thank you. See you later.